kings and queens, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jasmine and I love to do anything makeup, beauty, and lifestyle. Y'all, tell me why I'm under the weather. Like, literally, it's like when I go out of town and I hang out with people, I always just get like the bad end of the stick. So if I sound soupy, so if I sound super nasally or, you know, super congested, that's why. I guess I'm gonna have to go get a COVID test, but I'm hoping to pray it's not COVID. I don't have any other symptoms except for, like I said, being congested. I wasn't feeling that great today, but I was like, I gotta film for my queens and kings, so we're gonna get straight into it. But first, because this story is gonna blow your mind. I got some wine. You come in, Damien. You might be on camera. I'm making my YouTube video. You wanna say hey? You don't wanna say hey? Oh my God. Anyway, so y'all, get you some wine because this is gonna be a good story. So let me pour me some. I'll cut you out, Damien. Come on. I'm gonna cut you out. Oh my God. Anyway, my brother do not want to be on camera. It gets on my nerves, but yeah, okay. Anyway, like I said, y'all, grab you your favorite wine if you got something around the house, because, honey, we gonna need this. Trust me. So I'm not gonna keep y'all here long because y'all know I am the queen of rants. I will sit here and talk for 20 or 30 minutes. So I'm gonna try to just dive right into it. So if you watched my last video, thank you who did. Thank those who didn't either, but either way it go, whoever watched it, you know that I was talking about my first date in over a year, like a real date. I got installed, he made reservations, blah, 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 blah. So after the date or whatever, I didn't hear from him. And I asked you guys, I was like, you know, should I reach out? I was contemplating. I didn't really know what to do. So, me being me, I like to, you know, poke the bear or whatever you want to call it. Well, poking a bear is something got like a negative connotation, so I'm not going to say that. But I was curious. Yeah, I was a little curious about it. My feelings wasn't hurt. It wasn't like I was over here like, oh my God, he doesn't want me. No, honey. No. It was nothing like that. Long story short, and look, y'all, I got the messages because I'm recording on my phone. So I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Y'all know I keep it real on my channel, honey. We keep it a buck. We're not doing all of that faking or whatever you want to call it. So, like I said, I was curious. I texted him and I said, so if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my screen over here. First of all, let's rewind, because if you don't know, if you didn't watch my last video, then it's not going to make that much sense. So basically, I went on a date with this guy. He was older. You know what I'm saying? He took me to a super dope spot that I really wanted to, you know, try out with me being new in Atlanta. And I mentioned it to him. He made the reservations. Literally, the date was top tier. You know what I'm saying? We had great conversation. You know, he wasn't really pushy or anything like that as far as like trying me, if you get what I mean, you know. So he just really wanted me to have a good time. He seemed very genuinely interested in Jasmine, and that was super, I don't know, it's just I liked it. Basically, he was a gentleman, I should say. Very charismatic and stuff like that. But one thing about it, ladies, y'all gonna feel me on this. When you done been through certain things, you know, you like that stuff, but it doesn't have your nose wide open. You know what I'm saying? That might be a country saying to some people, but basically when your nose is wide open, you kind of dumb. You just fall head over heels, hit your head on the cement, don't care. You just wide open. But anyway, so back to the messages. So I didn't hear from him after the date. It probably was like, whew, I want to say Oh, wow. Yeah, almost a week. So when I would talk to, ooh, excuse me. So when I would talk to certain women or whatever, they would just be like, you know, well, I didn't talk to a lot of people. I told maybe 2 people. Ooh, excuse me. And they basically said that you can reach out, or the gentleman thing would be for him to follow up. And don't think it's that little tit for tat type thing. Like, well, he ain't text me, so I ain't texting him. Like, I don't have time for that, honey. I like to say what I want to say. Either you're going to get it or you're not. And I'm going to move on. Like, that's just what it is when it comes with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not a shameful person like that. So this is what I text him, y'all. I said, I thought I would have heard from you by now, being that we had a dope date. He texted me back and he said, hey, Jasmine, it was really dope. I enjoyed it. What are you looking for or open to between us? Now, right here, there was already like a flag for me, because you wasn't worried about this a week ago after the date. So I responded and I said, at this point, does it really matter what I want? Kind of seems like you've pretty much made a decision not to go any further, right? You feel me? So he wrote back, and he said, I agree that I may have made some assumptions, and yes, it does matter. I didn't get back right away because I drew some conclusions that were a bit disappointing. Then I just got busy. So, like I said, I try to be an adult. I'm going to give you a chance to, you know, hit me with whatever. Hit me with the facts. You feel me? Let me know. What was the disappointments? What were the assumptions that you drew? I said, what were your assumptions or the disappointments? This is what they meant. Wait. Cheers. Oh, by the way, listen. If you are not over the age of 21, don't be out here drinking. Don't you do that. I am not promoting drunk driving. I'm not promoting getting intoxicated to the point where you pass out on alcohol. No, we're just having a friendly little drink while I tell my story, okay? Thank you. So he told me, he said, oh wait, I didn't even take a sip, y'all. So he wrote back and he said, you seem like a classic relationship type of girl. Super traditional. No space for a goodbye kiss. Okay, this might be a little explicit, excuse me, but he said no space for a goodbye kiss or nipple brush. Okay. Very straightforward. I wanted to misbehave with you and I didn't get that vibe. Or to be playful, and that way, even if nothing manifested, my life is super serious and I work a lot and hard. We vibe so easily, I wanted more playtime with you. Don't judge me, please, with the angel emoji. I'm gonna read y'all what I responded with and then we'll talk about it. So I said, once again, I am a very literal person. When you're coming at me, you gotta be real specific about what you say. So I wrote him back and I said, so for clarification, I didn't give off a playful sexual vibe to where you could kiss me or touch my nipple. And because you work hard, you would like to have playtime sex with a woman. Now, listen, y'all. Playtime? Are we three? First of all, you said no space for a goodbye kiss or nipple brush immediately. I'm confused. Because like I said, the vibe was so good to the point where, I felt like he was strongly attracted to me, but that's not what I'm finna give off. Like, I don't care who you are. It was a date. This is not something that was, he shouldn't have had no thought in his mind that we would have had playtime or whatever. So he wrote back, sigh. I said, I'm just asking. Don't judge me either. He said, your questions are very telling. Your questions are judgmental, which I get. So now I'm getting heated because how am I judgmental when you're the one who came up with all these assumptions about me? Make it make sense. So I said, no, they're not. Once again, you're assuming. He said, no, playful doesn't mean sex. I said, I'm simply trying to understand, but if you feel like I'm being judgmental, oh well. He said, it means flirtatious, playful. First of all, you define the words to me like I'm illiterate, but anyway. He said it means flirtatious, playful. Sex too soon actually makes sex less valuable. Okay. But there are flirtation, sensual things women do to show interest. I really like that. I need it from someone that I'm interested in. I didn't get that vibe from you and didn't think I could talk about it with you, frankly, without you being judgmental. I said, wow, first time I've ever heard that. I'm not judgmental. If anything, I ask questions for understanding. He said, sorry. Then I read that wrong and assumed incorrectly. I said, no. You have every right to feel the way you want to, but it's okay. Thank you for answering my questions. So the judgmental thing pissed me off because I feel like we live in a world that is judgmental. Like everybody, you don't consciously think about it. I mean, somebody can walk up to you and have no teeth. You don't know the reason why they don't have teeth, but in your mind, you be like, dang, why they ain't got no teeth, right? This person could have had surgery. They could be waiting to get dentures. I mean, you don't know. So for somebody to say that I'm judgmental, I'm one of the most open-minded people that you will ever meet or encounter. You can ask my friends. Like I told somebody, for example, somebody on this earth could walk backwards and I would be their friend just because they're different. Like, I don't care. Be who you are. It doesn't affect me. So why would I kill them? I just don't get it. So also when he said women do things that show interest, I thought me going on a date was showing interest, honey. Like, we were having great conversations. So it just boggles my mind, y'all. And it's a lot. It's so much stuff that we were texting. But like I said, I want to read it to y'all so y'all can get full context. He said he assumed incorrectly. I said, no, you have every right to feel the way you want. And I said, but it's cool. Thank you for answering my question. So me personally, I was done with the conversation. You know what I mean? He said, he wrote back again. He said, was I correct in my observations or? And I said, like I said, I'm not judgmental. Also, you had plenty of space and opportunities to try, ask, or say whatever you wanted. Either I would have went with it or said no. You were rubbing on my back the entire day, moving my hair out the way. Did I stop you? So I said, also, I'm actually disappointed too because the date went well in my mind just because you were so kind to me. So right here, this is where it gets tricky for me because you ever heard that saying, there's a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing? Like, here I am thinking this is a genuine date, but the whole time it really wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can be super, super attracted to somebody, but I'm not leading with sex. And I didn't feel like he was leading with sex. So how did that get misconstrued? You want to know why? Because he came up with these assumptions in his mind that he put there. And you judged me because I didn't give you that vibe. You said I was a traditional, classic relationship type of woman. But this is the kicker, y'all. While we were on the date, this man basically told me that he used to be in a poly relationship. If you don't know what poly means, polyamorous, it means that somebody dates multiple people, being, multiple relationships. That doesn't mean like 10 relationships. It could be 2, 3, 4. That's the most I've ever seen myself. I don't judge poly people because I get it. I feel like to a certain extent, me and him even talked about it. To a certain extent, when someone is poly, I feel like the only thing they're doing that's different from somebody who's monogamous is actually being honest about the fact that their wants and needs can be met by more than one person, if that makes sense. Like, I get it. It doesn't really bother me, but it's not something that I'm like, woo, I'm gonna sign up for that. But I get it because, in my opinion, me and him talked about it. I said, I feel like it gets rid of cheating and dishonesty. But at the same time, it really just comes down to a person and their preferences. Like me personally, as a 30-year-old black woman that is dating, if I encounter any man and I ask them, can you be monogamous? That is for a reason. That is not for you just to say yes to get further in with me. Because at the end of the day, I'm monogamous. I don't want to share. I don't. That's just not something that intrigues me, I should say. But once again, never say never. And if that's what someone chooses to do with their life, cool. And also, let's be clear. If you've heard the term high value man or high value woman, let's talk about it. If you are a person of high value, whatever your definition is, I've grown kind of away from that word because it almost makes people seem superior to where they can do whatever they want and have whoever they want. However, that's not always the case. You know what I mean? When I think of like a person that's poly and they're of high value, because the guy I went on a date with, he was a lawyer. Now, you have different levels of lawyers. You have a lawyer that's banking, and you have some lawyers that's, they surviving just like the rest of us. You know what I mean? So his whole thing was he was able to cater to two women. He could afford to take care of both of them. He told me they didn't have to work. They stayed home, they took care of the kids, and they treated him like a king, as he said, which is fine. Hey, do you, boo, do you? Who am I? So for me, I feel like a lot of men do want multiple women, but they're not in the correct position to really be able to, one, handle each woman emotionally, and two, you can't even afford barely the woman you got, boo. Cause, I ain't gonna put myself out like anyway, so I don't really care about you being poly. And when you told me that, I didn't judge you. I said, hey, if that worked for you and your ex, by all means, do what y'all do, boo. I'm not gonna tell you that's what I'm gonna do because that's just not me. Maybe I am super traditional. So I don't care though. I like traditional stuff, but I'm open to new ways, new school. I mean, I live in a millennial generation. We always doing something new, but we also have a lot of stuff that is recycling. Okay, my job. I'm sorry, y'all. This stuff keep popping up for my job. But we also live in a world where we have a lot of stuff that our parents or grandparents used to use and do, and it's just recycling. Like they say, sometimes old age stuff, I don't know the correct term, I can't think of it, but you get what I'm saying. Just like bell bottoms. Bell bottoms was worn back in the 70s and 80s. Okay, I got a pair of bell bottoms in the closet and I love them. You feel what I'm saying? So for him to say judgmental, it just it threw me so far left, but I kept my cool. And he said this. I said, you was rubbing on my back, blah, blah, blah. He said, but you never touched me, not even on my arm. After a while, I felt like I was molesting you. Touch is a form of communication, and you never spoke to me. My initial thought was like, boy, what you trying to do? Say poetry or something? So I wrote him back, and I was like shaking my head. It was the first date. I told you I was nervous, but once again, no judgment. You have your way of doing things, and I have mine. He wrote back, and he said, LOL. The first date is the most important one. So let's talk about this. He was rubbing on me, and I'm not like a super overly affectionate person, but there's a reason why. I have to, when I'm dating a man, I don't just come out the woodwork overly affectionate, like hugs, kisses, rub here, touch here. Like, I don't know why, but I just have to have a certain level of like security to show that super vulnerable side. And plus, I don't want to be overbearing. You know, that I have a fear of being like super overbearing, like overly clingy. And I've actually had a guy that wanted to date me to be like, no, show me this. I want to see it. But, baby, let me tell you, once I love you, I'm like this on you. Don't leave. Take me with you. Take me with you. You know, but this is the first time that I'm hanging out with you And then for it to be a first date, I really like going on dates. So I consider that to be like a, you know, like, I don't know, y'all. Either way it go, I was nervous. And then not to mention, if you on a date with somebody and they like this, gawking at you because they're super attracted to you, I mean, you know, dang, like, okay, I know I'm cute, but geez. But, you know, all in all, I'm not going to keep reading all these messages because, y'all, like I said, it's some dissertations in here and theses and all that crap like that. But basically, he said that he led with attraction and I led with church girl. So, in one of the messages, I told him, you know what? Obviously, my church girl persona, as you put it, and my great conversation was pointless. So, respectfully, it's cool because at this point, you have categorized me in a whole nother area that, and I talked to my mom about it because, you know, I be looping her in, she be looping me in, it'd be funny. She was like, ain't nothing wrong with that. I said, I know. But the thing is, you got all of that from a first date. And for him to say, he said the first date is the one that matters the most. I've gotten older. I used to have that mindset, but I don't think like that anymore because if you really are interested in somebody, you have to understand that just because I'm very confident and I can go on a date and I can talk to you like I knew you yesterday or years ago, everybody's not built like that. You don't know what somebody's been through. You don't know their triggers. Because let's be real, y'all. We live in a world where mental health is such a big deal. Like, everybody is dealing with stuff mentally. I could say, ask you one little question that can trigger you and you shut down. People need to have more grace. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that. Have more grace with people. Everybody, I'm preaching to myself. Everybody's not like me. Everybody's not like you. You know what I'm saying? But one thing about it, for a person to basically dismiss me or disregard me just because I didn't give off playtime vibes. And like in one of the messages, he said, then when I dropped you off, you gave me a church hug. Y'all, in actuality, on the way to his house, his whole, like, energy shifted. Like, I'm really big on energy. Like, I'm an empath. I could tell. And so when when he dropped me off, I didn't really know what to expect. But I was like, okay, maybe he gonna try to kiss me or give me a little peck, a hug, or whatever. I don't know. I mean, that's just what I kind of thought. But he literally opened the door, gave me my food, and it's like he was finna walk off. And I was like, well, I'll see you, next time. Like, and I gave him a hug. He didn't like it. So it is what it is. Also, he said he didn't see me as a second investment. He said, why would he invest in a second date if he's communicating attraction and I'm communicating homegirl? And I was just like, Lord. And then this is the kicker, y'all. This is what he said. It's nobody's fault. You're gorgeous, witty, and smart. I really am attracted to your face, smile, skin, and body. I admire your groundedness and enjoyed your sense of humor. And I should have discussed my impressions with you earlier and perhaps over the phone. That would have been more courteous. I just felt let down and got busy. So I apologize for that. So my thing is, this man is not 27 or 24. Like, you grown, like 45. And I'm 30, you know what I'm saying? That's 15 years. But when I tell you, my mama said this the other day, she said, baby, sometimes the old one's worse than the young ones. And listen, she is not lying. If you knew that you wanted to take me on a date, chit-chat a little bit, and then try something else, you should have just came out the woodwork saying that. People have to realize you get a lot further in life by being honest. You don't know what I want. You don't know what I was expecting. That's my business. Whether I want A, B, C, or D. If I tell you no, then that's what it is. You feel me? And then he want to talk about, maybe we can do drinks as friends again. I said, sure. You want to know why? Let somebody try to talk to me when we out. I'm going to show you church girl. If that's what you think I am, I can show you a completely different side. And I was disappointed because, well, I'm not not gonna say disappointed. I was more so like, dang, here go another one. Here go another one. You know what I'm saying? Like, dating is just, whew, child. And y'all, I know I'm supposed to do like makeup and get ready with me and all that stuff at hauls, but like, I was like, I just need to rant and tell my queens and kings what's going on, because is this what dating has come to? Like, is this what it's gonna be like? Where my puppies at? I need my puppies in my house, and we're gonna be fine. Because at this point, if you're wasting my time. You wasted my makeup, my outfit, and my time, and my gas. We could have avoided all of that if you came to me and said, you know, Jess, I want to talk to you. I want to take you to get something to eat, but I want this too. That's what you should have said. Be a man. You say you this manly man. Be a man about it. Be a man about it. Because all them messages right there screams insecurity to me, because I didn't give you the attraction that you wanted, the mutual attraction that you came up with in your mind. I'm not gonna sit, if I'm on a date and I touch a guy's leg, if he doesn't touch my leg, I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, he didn't give me mutual attraction. What? There had to be some type of attraction for me to go on a date with you, baby. Like, don't get me wrong, I know it's women out here that just go on dates to give them free meals or whatever like that. I don't have to do that, boo. I can go anywhere I want to and pay for it myself, whether it's $300 or $50. I don't need a man for that. I was raised that way. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had a daddy that was a great provider, Lord rest his soul, and I have a great mom. Like, I just know the balance of it. I know that a man can provide, but you should also want to provide for yourself. Because if that man walks away, what you gonna do, boo? So don't ever depend on nobody to pay your way. If you ain't got it, don't go. And that's on what? Period. But yeah, so that's my dating updated dating story. Y'all, I just get speechless, because like I told my mom, if you are a HO, you're too easy and everybody can hit. But if you have some type of standard, some type of class to yourself, you too much. You doing too much, and you ain't, you know, giving off a sexual vibe. What we supposed to do, ladies? Men, anybody want to drop a comment below? Please let me know, because at this point, people are like, well, Jasmine, when you stop looking for it, it'll come to you. I'm not looking for it. You asked me. I was fine. I was going to go to that place on my own. And I'm probably still going to go back because, you know, I saw a few lookers in there. But anyway, but I don't know. All I know is, all I can do is say, you know, I'm gonna be me, baby. I'm gonna be me. I don't feel like the things that he said were necessarily negative, but it just was like, you don't even know me that well. Like, you're going off of one big thing. Like, when people say first impressions are everything, don't get me wrong, first impressions matter. They do. But sometimes that's not the impression that lasts the longest. Anybody that you know, when you meet them for the first time, you're seeing a facade. You're seeing what's supposed to be good, what's supposed to be nice. But your fifth time hanging out with them, that's when you might see a flaw or a bad thing. So I'd rather you just be who you are. What triggers you? What makes you flawed? And I think dating has just become so difficult because people expect so much. Like, no, I said that wrong. People expect less. Like, I really feel like we're living in a world where there are no such thing as standards and morals. Like, and when I say that, it's because in 2022, sorry, somebody calling me. I'm speaking off of what I know to be true. This is because of my life experiences. You can disagree, but some of the women that I know, if you could take them out to eat, get their nails and hair done, okay, that's good enough. You know, sometimes that happens, but at the same time, I don't know, y'all. But anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching this episode. I hope that you guys have watched my other videos. If you have not, please go check them out. Hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. And like I always say, I love you, my beautiful kings and queens. I wish you love and light on purpose. And I hope you guys tune in to my next video. Be safe, okay? Peace.